Many events led to the American Revolution. Tensions between England and the colonies began after Britain implanted various taxes in the colonies. The stamp act angered the colonists because it was the first direct tax in the colonies. This act forced colonists to pay tax on all paper products, including documents, newspapers, and playing cards. Many colonists protested because they felt that they had no right to be taxed if they had no representation in Parliament. These taxes strained the relationship between Britain and the colonies, especially between the colonists and the British soldiers. This led to the Boston Massacre, which occurred March 5, 1770. On this evening, a group of colonists began to taunt and throw things at the British soldiers, and eventually shots were fired. 5 colonists lay dead, including Crispus Attucks, the first African American to die in the Boston Massacre. In spite of this tragic event, England continued to tax the colonists, which restricted the tea trade, so the colonists could only trade with the East India Company. Colonists were furious and responded with the Boston Tea Party. Members of the Sons of Liberty dressed as Native Americans and snuck aboard a ship carrying tea to the colonies. They dumped all the cargo of tea into the Boston harbor. This protest was to show the king that they refused to be taxed without representation.
Britain retaliated by strengthening its power over the colonies. This is evident through the incident of Lexington and Concord. British troops were sent to seize weapons secretly stored in Concord. Although the colonists met them at Lexington and a battle occurred, afterwards the British marched on to Concord. But the colonists were informed beforehand and attacked the British soldiers using guerrilla warfare tactics, which led to a colonial victory. It was considered the shot heard round the world and boosted the spirits of the colonists, which gave them hope that they could one day be independent. News of Lexington and Concord influenced Thomas Paine to write an influential pamphlet called Common Sense. This shifted the opinions of the colonists to the Patriots' side. So many colonists were influenced because the pamphlet was simple and clear for any common colonist to understand. It was also widely distributed and read aloud at many public meetings and taverns. The concise ideas of Thomas Paine convinced the colonists that the need for a revolution was upon them.
After all these events, colonists knew that they needed to stand up for what was right and fight for their independence.